Construction News Tracker is presented by Caterpillar and produced by ForConstructionPros.com. The National Association of Home Builders is pleased with the latest outlook for apartment and condo construction. The three components comprising the Multifamily Production Index has inched up 3 points from the second quarter of the year to 53 in the third quarter. Meanwhile, data firm Axiometrics claims multifamily construction is poised to increase 10.5% in this quarter to 91,957 units, remain flat in the first quarter of 2017, and then increase again later next year. Axiometrics reports that near-term multifamily remains healthy. There is strong belief that an easeback will come mid-2017 as new inventory is released into the marketplace. After months of U.S. public construction spending declined in 2016, the U.S. Commerce Department estimates the value of public construction put in place in October rose 2.8%, combined with a 1.8% increase in residential construction spending. The two sectors were able to counterbalance drops in the non-residential spending categories of power, manufacturing, commerce, and office construction, which represents 70% of private non-residential spending in the U.S., to hold total U.S. construction spending static from September to October. 178,000 jobs added to the nation's labor force in November, dropping the unemployment rate to 4.6%. The construction sector saw a rise of 19,000 jobs. Over the last 3 months, the job market has averaged 176,000 new jobs, and the unemployment rate now matches that of August 2007. Voters in dozens of states approved funding for local transportation projects in the presidential election. In fact, 33 of 48 measures received winning tallies. Transportation initiatives, according to AASHTO, ranged from multi-million-dollar bond issues to increases in gas tax rates. Meanwhile, the AASHTO board has called on the Trump administration and Congress to renew the need for a long-term highway funding program similar to the FAST Act, now 1 year old, with 4 years of life remaining. House Transportation Committee Chair Bill Schuster says the lawmakers are working closely with the Trump administration team on ways to find a fiscally responsible track to pay for future improvements. The president-elect has announced he will appoint Elaine Chao as Transportation Secretary. She's a longtime Republican, former Labor Secretary, and Deputy Transportation Secretary. In an interview with the New York Times, Mr. Trump said there are several issues more important on his agenda than infrastructure, such as tax reform, regulation, and health care reform. Mr. Trump described infrastructure as not a core element of his administration's agenda. The ongoing saga of an Obama administration effort to impose stricter workplace rules, this time on overtime eligibility, has been rejected by a federal district court in Texas, not unlike many before it. Over the last 2 years, justices in that state have struck down or suspended 5 major regulations, executive orders, or actions. Judge Amos Mazant agreed with 21 states and a coalition of business groups in granting that permanent injunction. It affected an estimated 4 million workers nationwide. Revised final rules for walking, working surface, and fall protection standards have been imposed by OSHA and slated to take effect January 17th. It's estimated the ruling will affect 112 million workers and 7 million job sites. The biggest change appears to be centered around employer choice of a variety of general and personal fall protection systems and resolves discrepancies with construction industry standards covering rope descent, body belts, and worker training. On the East Coast, $756 million in secure financing has been obtained by the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and Tunnel Commission. That money earmarked for a 17.6-mile, 2-lane tunnel expansion to the present Chessie Tunnel in Virginia. The 5-year planned construction expected to get underway late next year. It's not too early to obtain your registration for World of Concrete 2017. The January 17th date for seminars to begin and the entire show floor exhibits to open reigns near. Contact worldofconcrete.com for for all the inside information about the show, and we hope to see you there. In closing, a man can fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he gives up. This is Construction News Tracker, looking over the industry that makes the world a better place, presented by Caterpillar and produced by 4 Construction Pros. Follow us on social media at Twitter using hashtag Construction News, YouTube for 4 Construction Pros, and on Facebook at /4 Construction Pros. Wishing each of you a very pleasant holiday season as the streaming web never ends.